Hello everyone, and today we're talking about a creature that you see quite often in business, especially online businesses, and that is the humble goblin. Goblins are avaricious and greedy creatures, and when they're not trying to kill Spider-Man, all they do is they steal, they despoil, and they ruin everything around them. I am, of course, talking about RPG goblins, not Harry Potter goblins, because I don't want to play into whatever the fuck J.K. Rowling has going on with these guys. No, what we're talking about today, funnily enough, is Vice Media. Vice Media was a huge internet-based news outlet, which at its height was valued at $5.7 billion and declared bankruptcy in this year. This would have been for a myriad of reasons. There is an analysis of it here, which basically states that Vice was never quite able to figure out a viable revenue stream on how to monetize their content. They had a lot of eyeballs coming towards them. However, they were never quite able to turn these into direct, harnessable revenue. Vice always kind of prided itself on its more edgier reporting, and it was very much, I think, really build more of a young person's news platform. Of course, that didn't stop a lot of venture capital and corporate investment from happening with the company. In August 2013, 21st Century Fox took a 5% stake. In September of 2014, they took investments from Silicon Valley venture capital firms, as well as from A&E Networks. Disney in the year after that. And oh, hey, look at this. 2016, Vice UK staff announced they have unionized and are seeking voluntary recognition from the company. The NUJ accuses Vice the next month of, quote, old-fashioned union-busting tactics, and the effort is unsuccessful. Damn, who could have seen that coming? That's very goblin-like behavior, but let's continue. June 2017, private equity firm TPG invests $450 million for an 8% stake, which is actually when the company reached its all-time high for its valuation at $5.7 billion US. And then later that year, the New York Times uncovered 4 settlements involving allegations of sexual harassment or defamation against Vice employees, including the company's president at the time, Andrew Creighton. The investigation also found that more than 24 women said they had experienced or witnessed sexual misconduct at the company. And then, funnily enough, he left the company in October the next year, which is just crazy how that happens. Vice did attempt to address this in March 2018. A&E Network's Nancy DeBook, apologies for mispronouncing that, becomes Vice Media's chief executive, succeeding Shane Smith. Her appointment is widely written up as an attempt to address a boys' club atmosphere at the company. Unfortunately, for reasons that I'm going to go into, and the reason I made this video, she doesn't address the Goblins club atmosphere of this company. Tying into my video yesterday, Vice UK shares its pay gap figures, showing a 13% median gap between men and women, and an 18.2% mean gap overall. While this isn't as major as Nintendo's 30% gap, it's still a gap, right? 2018, Nancy DeBook predicts Vice Media would be profitable by the next fiscal year. Yeah, we'll see about that. 2019, we've got layoffs. 2020, we've got layoffs. 2021, Vice co-founder Shane Smith abandons ship. And then we get to this year, 2023. Okay, so February of this year, Nancy DeBook steps down as chief executive of Vice Media. She is succeeded by chief financial officer Bruce Dixon and chief strategy officer Josefa Lokandwala, who share the role. Again, I probably butchered those names, I'm sorry. The same month, the company receives a $30 million plus lifeline. This is a far cry, of course, from the financial investment that it was experiencing almost 10 years prior. Group Black, a company aiming to boost the health and size of black-owned media, reportedly submits a $400 million bid for Vice. So we've got other people bidding on the company. Vice tells Press Gazette that the business is making a long-term commitment to live stream platform Twitch, and then it has 6 or 7 people working on the effort. Next week, the company announces painful but necessary job cuts and are refocusing on the platforms where the brand has its biggest audiences. So, rip to those guys. I'm guessing they didn't survive that. And then in May, they declare bankruptcy. Predators Fortress, Soros Fund Management, and Monroe Capital submit a credit bid of $225 million for the company. I believe they said at the time that the company had an asking price of $1 billion, which of course is a far cry from the $5.7 billion that they reported at their height. Now, you may be asking yourself, Ash, why are you going so hard on this company? It's a failed news company. Why are you saying that it's run by some kind of cabal of magical money-grubbing goblin? I'm going to tell you why. And it's because of this. So this isn't a long scoop by any stretch of the means. This is on a semaphore. I'm just going to go through this with you now. Just weeks before Vice declared bankruptcy in May, the Millennial Media Company paid performance bonuses to top-level executives. The bonuses were part of the annual payouts executives at the company received based on performance in the previous year, according to 2 people with direct knowledge of the stipends. But the checks were written as the company was gearing up for potential bankruptcy, which means many rank and file staffers and freelancers were not paid for work from April and May, and were furious to learn of the boss's bonuses. The company has continued to cut costs in other areas, including eliminating the messaging app Slack. They're so hard up, they're not even paying for Slack. On Thursday, an HR rep sent an email to staff saying that the company will not be able to pay severance. A spokesperson for Vice declined to comment, but the company has previously maintained that despite delays, it intends to pay staff and freelancers for work completed before the bankruptcy. Let me say that again. They knew they were going bankrupt. They were getting ready to go bankrupt. They were so hard up for fucking money that they couldn't even pay for Slack, and they were paying out bonuses for their executives. Now, if that isn't some top-tier fucking goblin behavior, I don't know what is. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, I have a little bit of a, at times I have a little bit of a low opinion of pop media journalists on the internet. I personally have the opinion that a lot of the time they are just mere mouthpieces for the rich and powerful. As with many other journalists, we've come a long way from the kind of heyday of journalism. In my opinion, especially a lot of more well-established platforms, it's less a vital public service and more an expensive public daycare where you have to read someone's musings for the day. That being said, I do like Adrian Chiles. I think he's pretty funny. Not intentionally, I just think he's funny as a human being. Like, his existence is funny. He very much writes like a man whose wife got him a job for life. As this company was going out, as they knew that they were going to be losing a bunch of people, and as they knew that they owed money to the people that produced the content that kept that platform up as long as it did, they're not paying them. But you've got rich Uncle fucking Goblin and the rest of his Goblin pals getting their payouts, and I think that's disgusting. Yeah, there's not really much more to say about that. I just think it's an absolute travesty. I'm going to include a link to this and to the timeline that I showed here. I guess so in the comments below, what do you think about goblins? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're good XP? Obviously, that's not call to action for anything. But yeah, please do let me know. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. I'm hoping tomorrow I don't have to talk about a gender pay gap again, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, have a good one. Thank you.